Welcome to the John Cady Podcast. I'm John Cady, U.S. Navy retired and former minister. Once again, I'm returning to another one of these what-if scenarios. As I have in previous ones, I've consulted AI apps such as Chat GPT and Grok. The question that I asked this time involves the famous disco group known as Village People. My question was, what if Disco Demolition Night never happened and Village People retained their classic costumes when they recorded the 1981 Renaissance album? Would Victor Willis have returned? Would Village People have broken through the disco bias and be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? We have a whole timeline here courtesy of Chat GPT, and it opens like this. Fantastic question, and one that opens up a fascinating alternate timeline for Village People, who were much more than a disco novelty act. Their campy costumes and likable appearance, despite their origins in Greenwich Village, made them a universal sensation. People loved them across all spectrum, but when they went that route, following the Disco Demolition Night, music sales began to falter. They ended up being in that awful movie, Can't Stop the Music. But when they took that dive and did the 1981 Renaissance album in a new wave appearance, the fan base was completely alienated. The album tanked. And even after returning to their original costumes, Village People were never the same again. If Disco Demolition Night in 1979 never happened, disco's decline would have been more gradual, not sudden and violent. Artists like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Village People, and also KC and the Sunshine Band, who were very popular during that era as well, would have transitioned naturally into early 80s pop, funk, and dance sounds, similar to how Earth, Wind & Fire and Kool and the Gang thrived. Alternate timeline, Village People without the disco backlash. 1979, the backlash never happened. The genre evolves into mainstream pop-funk dance hybrid. Think early Madonna meets Prince and Quincy Jones. Victor Willis doesn't quit. He and producer Jacques Morali repair their creative relationship. Willis's songwriting strength keeps the group lyrically grounded and vocally sharp. They retain the classic costumes, but modernizes them with early 80s fashion, leather meets neon. They become fans of fun, flamboyant pop culture, not relics of the disco era. Given that into consideration, Village People would have been a natural for the early MTV era. A mock discography. We have the original albums, such as Cruisin' and Go West. Renaissance would have been the next album, and it would not have been Live and Sleazy. Under this timeline, Renaissance would be released in 1980, hit number 9 on the Billboard album charts. Ready for the 80s would actually have been a top 10 hit in the U.S. as opposed to missing the top 40. They also would have had hits with Give Me Liberty and Digital Love. The style would have been funky synth disco with chic-style guitar work. Album praised by Rolling Stone for its post-disco sophistication. 1982, New Frontier under RCA. Number 12 on the Billboard album charts. Move into synth funk and pop rock crossover. Midnight Highway. Number 14, Manhattan Beat would be a club and dance hit. The sound would be similar to Duran Duran meets Kool and the Gang. Victor Willis co-writes all the tracks. 1984, Machismo. Number 8, Billboard album charts. Huge comeback via MTV. Electric Cowboy would hit number 7. Hit number 1 on the dance charts. Born to be Wild Again would hit number 3 in the UK. Music videos highlight their costumes, reimagined in futuristic sci-fi style. Album goes platinum. This is what we talked about in the beginning as Chat GPT discussed. The classic costumes would be intact, but just modernized a little bit for the MTV crowd. 1986, Village Revolution. Number 15, album charts. Don't Stop the Music would also be a top 20 hit. Rough Trade, number 6 on the dance charts. Village People would tour with Prince and The Time. Now that would be quite a team-up. Village People, Prince, Morris Day and The Time. That would have been a nice combination right there. 1989, Freedom Street. Mature sound, blending new jack swing and dance pop. Living for the Night would hit the soul charts. Victor Willis's return to full-time frontman role praised by music critics. 1993 Classic Cuts compilation would be a UK hit. YMCA 93 would hit the top 10. Go West Again would hit number 1 in Germany. They would become huge in Europe again, competing with the Eurodance acts at that time. Pride Nation, 1998. Number 22 on the US dance charts. They include electronica-inspired numbers. Disco Renaissance would hit number 9 on the dance charts. Forever Macho would hit number 11 on the Hot 100. They become icons of the emerging Pride Festival circuit. The final album they have listed, Legends Never Die, hit number 16 on the Billboard album charts, number 4 on the dance charts, produced by Pharrell Williams and Nile Rodgers. Macho Forever, number 6 on the Hot 100. The Beat Lives On, number 2 on the dance charts. Critics call it their Daft Punk moment. 2005. They would be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for their contributions to pop culture and dance music innovation. What about the cultural legacy? According to Chat GPT, Victor Willis's role, he never leaves after the Go West album. Continues to help with the lyrics to all their material. He becomes recognized as a leading black male pop songwriter of the late 70s and 1980s. The disco burnout would have been avoided. Their sound would evolve smoothly like Michael Jackson and Prince. They keep their image iconic but adaptable, similar to Kiss or David Bowie. And again, here we go with the 2005 Hall of Fame induction. They would be inducted alongside Madonna, The Cure, and Chic. Chic was another famous R&B group who suffered because of Disco Demolition Night. Citation for merging dance, humor, and character into a universal language of joy that transcended genre, race, and orientation. The original lineup would perform YMCA, Electric Cowboy, and The Beat Lives On featuring Pharrell Williams. Unfortunately, in this timeline, it doesn't mention anything different about Glenn Hughes, who was the original Leatherman. He died in 2001, so that part would probably have not changed. But at the end of the day, Village People would have had quite a different legacy, even if critics didn't like their albums, and a lot of times they didn't. It was the look, the costumes, and the exuberant appearance that they gave, their showmanship, that made them icons at the height of the disco era. This is John Cady. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you like what I'm presenting, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm looking forward to catching you all on the next one.